All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Go Green El Segundo event, sharing some ways to be smart with your energy and water conservation efforts and save some money in the process. We have a great program for you tonight, so whether you're watching it live now or taped later, it's all great information with wonderful resources for you, so thank you for tuning in. We do have, for anyone that is here in person that may not have signed in out front or entered the raffle, we do have some raffle items that are going to go for both online and in-person folks. So we'll have a way, actually online, I should introduce you virtually to Sean Fujioka, who is driving us virtually tonight. She will be hosting, she's a project coordinator with the COG, and she will be hosting us virtually. You'll meet a whole bunch of interesting people tonight, and I'll introduce them one at a time as we come up. But first, let me ask Sean to, we've got the opening slide on, perfect. So you'll see these are the speakers for this evening. I'll introduce them as they come up later. But at the moment, I just want to give a shout out to people in the house here that you may not see the whole time. One is our Public Works Director here in El Segundo, Elias Sassoon. He's here. He's a wonderful champion of all things green in town. We love his focus on water and energy conservation as well. We have Darnell Jenkins, our El Segundo Media Supervisor, who's also virtual, supporting us tonight with this event. And my lovely co-host, Sarah Brockhouse, you'll see in a moment, she is the one who helped bring this to El Segundo. So we are pleased that she will be participating as well. So tonight you'll have an opportunity to ask questions either in person or online. So if you're online, you'll type them in the chat, and Sean will let us know about those later at an appropriate time toward the end of the program. If you're in the room, you'll see us get the microphone out and do that later. So at this point, I would like to introduce Dakota Tom Townsend. She's the Environmental Services Analyst and Project Coordinator for the South Bay Cities Council of Governments, who will share with us more about that organization.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending tonight. I'm Dakota Townsend. I work with the South Bay City Councils of Government, and we partner with SoCalREN, which is the Southern California Regional Energy Network, and West Basin to put this event together. So the SBCCOG, which is also the South Bay City Council of Governments, is a joint powers authority of cities and LA County in the South Bay sub-region of the city, and El Segundo is a member. The South Bay City Council of Governments helps agencies they help the agencies, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Yes, technology error. Okay, so the South Bay Council of Governments helps the agencies implement programs and projects, and we work collaboratively. The SBCCOG also runs the South Bay Environmental Services Center and partners with several agencies in addition to the SoCalREN and West Basin, and they include LA County Metro, Los Angeles County Sanitation Districts, Water Replenishment District, and Los Angeles DWP, as well as Torrance Water. These partnerships allow South Bay City Council of Governments to bring a comprehensive message to the South Bay community and help us better serve our cities and the residents and businesses. So we're gonna move it on to Sarah and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the event.
Okay, I'm gonna pop back in first. Oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Tracy Miller-Zarnicki, and I am the chair of the Environmental Committee here in El Segundo. So what you see now on the screen is our agenda for this evening, so you'll know who's coming up when and what we're going to be talking about. So we'll break up some of the talking with some fun activities and raffle drawings. And the lovely Sarah is going to come up here now to take us through the first fun event that we're going to do, which is the word cloud. So come on up, Sarah.
Thank you, Tracy. So if we can move to the next slide. If the participants will either scan the QR code or browse to slido.com on your mobile device or your laptop and scroll to the enter code here bar, you can enter the code 3297557. And navigate to the Energy and Water Conservation event, and you'll see the question pop up, why is it important to save water and energy? And I will give you a few minutes to enter a few brief words or a word for response on why it is important. Okay, some really great responses. Good for our local ecosystem. It's great for our community and a greener environment. Represents protecting the environment and conserving scarce resources, conservation. So great responses. And we'll move on to our next topic.
Thanks,
Okay.
Sarah. Yeah, it was nice seeing all of those responses. I think we're all aligned on why it's so important to save water and energy. I don't think you all can see me, but my name is Elena Lee, and I am a project manager with the SoCal Ren Public Agencies program. And we partner with the South Bay Cities Council of Governments, the City of El Segundo, and West Basin Municipal Water District to bring you this event. So I just want to thank you personally for taking the time out of your Monday evening to spend time with us. But yeah, about the SoCal Ren, our program was created to support California in reaching the state's robust energy efficiency goals. In my role, I get to engage with public, local government leaders to really understand and support their energy needs. And you can learn more about SoCal Ren's programs. We have a lot of different offerings. Our website is socalren.org if you're interested in learning more. On the following slide, I just want to share a little bit about our work in the South Bay region. Like I said, we get to collaborate closely with the South Bay Cities Council of Government, which is made up of 16 cities in LA County. And through our partnership, we provide energy efficiency project support to the City of El Segundo and other agencies in the region. So our SoCal Ren program aligns with South Bay's goal of maximizing quality of life and productivity in the South Bay region. And along those efforts in tying in environmental and sustainability initiatives. So on this map, there are a couple of counties shaded in purple. So any public agency in this area shown here is eligible to participate in the SoCal Ren program. So local governments that complete energy efficiency projects are able to bring associated benefits to their surrounding communities. And our programs help agencies save energy through optimizing facility operations and equipment, leading to cutting costs on their energy bills. So the idea of this webinar really came about through the City of El Segundo finding benefits in saving energy and their wish to share information with residents on how they can do the same. So on the following slide, thank you, Sean. Before we get to review actions that will help you all save energy and money, we first want to open up some simple poll questions to get an idea of how you all use energy and what you know about it. So don't worry, you're not going to be graded on this, but we're going to use our handy Slido tool. If Sean can pull it up, thank you. All right, so the first question that we have on here is, how much energy do you spend on your home energy bills every month? There is no correct answer on this one. Give us an estimate. I'll give you all a moment to open up the Slido app again. All right, seeing some come through. Give it a few more seconds here. Okay, so a good majority of you use less than $50. That's amazing to hear. I wish I can say the same. About 20% of you use between 50 to 100, and then another 20% of you that use more than, that spend over $150 a month. All right, so we got a good mix of that. Thanks, Sean. We can move on to the next question. And that is, what do you think is the biggest use of energy in the typical US home is? Appliances, heating and cooling, lighting, or powering up your electronics? All right, the majority of you, all of you, say heating and cooling. Awesome, that is the correct answer. All right, and then another question. Thanks, Sean. How much less energy does an LED light bulb use than an incandescent light bulb? All right, so we got a mix of answers, less than 60%. Many of you think 70 to 75%, and then another third of you think more than 75%. All right, so I will reveal, oh yeah, that's the answer, more than 75%. No problem, thanks, Sean. All right, and then the last question here. How much of California's energy use is related to moving water around the state? Perfect. All right, majority of you think 16%, some in the 29%, and the correct answer is 12%. All right, good job. Let's see who won here. Tracy. As you should, Tracy. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for participating in that little virtual engagement. I'm glad I'm still able to interact with you all, even though I'm not there. All right, so moving on into our content. So I wanted to explain the difference between energy efficiency and conservation. These are the two kinds of actions that you can take to save energy. But the key differences are, well, to be energy efficient, that means you're using methods like technology that requires less energy to perform a same function. So earlier we showed a slide where a dog was being efficient by rolling down a ramp using gravity. That's an example of being energy efficient. When you're conserving energy, this is related to behaviors that result in less energy use. So, for example, unplugging your electronics. So, energy conservation is something you all can put into practice immediately so that you can save on your bills. And that's why we recommend that you address your energy conservation behaviors before you invest your money on energy efficient equipment. There are a lot of benefits when it comes to saving energy, like you all listed earlier. To name some few, so you'll see direct benefits on your utility bill, saving money. You'll also be lowering greenhouse gas emissions. That's related to energy generation. And it also helps you to reduce overall energy demands across the state so that our grid system can stay on. So if we can move on to the next slide. Yeah, so you all answered kind of how much you all typically spend on your energy bills. It was a lot ranging, many of you under $50 and others over 150. And I just wanted to share, on average, Californians spend about $100 each month on energy bills. Of course, this really depends on a couple of factors like where you live, the size of your home, the number of people living under the same roof. So these factors aren't easily changed, but something that is within your control is your energy behaviors. So in the next following slides, I'll be going over some easy ways that you can incorporate energy efficiency and conservation practices in your day-to-day. Thanks, Sean. So first I want to talk about shifting your energy use from peak demand times. This is a great way to save energy and at times necessary. There are over 40 million people living in California, and that's a lot of people using energy from our grid. Energy companies can only produce a certain amount of energy at one time. And on days where there will be lots of energy use, such as our past recent hot summer days, these companies have to turn on extra standby power plants that often burn fossil fuels. So when we use more energy that energy companies can make, that's when blackouts occur. And as we all know, blackouts can be very uncomfortable and potentially dangerous to our communities. I was actually watching the California Independent System Operators energy demand when we had all of our extreme heat events, and it was crazy to see that once that mass text alert telling everybody to reduce their energy before we had blackouts. Within 5 minutes of that being sent out, our energy demands shifted significantly, nearly avoiding grid-wide blackouts. So you can all help keep the grid running by shifting your energy use during off-peak demand time. One way that you can do this is by using large appliances like your HVAC units, dishwasher, clothes washer, and dryers before 4 p.m. or after 6 p.m. And on the next slide, it's worth looking into renewable energy resources when trying to reduce your energy use from fossil fuels. Renewable energy comes from sources that cannot be exhausted in the future, and these include solar, wind, geothermal, and hydropower. So ways that you can power your home and reduce energy use with renewables are first through green rates. The way that green rates work is by purchasing energy that comes from renewable energy sources, such as from big solar or wind farms. Southern California Edison and Clean Power Alliance actually have programs where they purchase energy from these kinds of sources. So being put on a green rate is a great way for residents who are not able to install rooftop solar on their homes, but still want to support renewable energy generation. And then moving on to solar, solar can really reduce how much money you spend on your monthly electricity bills. Of course, the savings depend on the size of your systems, how much sun is available, the size of your roof, and also your electricity consumption. Energy storage is a great way to harness solar energy generation so that you can use the energy produced at any time. And electric vehicles, as you all are aware, are on the rise, with more people being interested in reducing their carbon footprint, especially when they can be charged by renewable resources. So even though renewable energy can't run out, it's still important to not be wasteful with energy usage. On the next slide, I wanted to share a couple of new technologies that can be helpful when being more energy efficient. So investing in new technology may cost more at first, but they can save you money in the long run because they use less energy than older technologies. So Energy Star is a widely recognized and trusted label on products that meet strict energy efficiency requirements set by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. They have a product list available on their website that we can share with you after this webinar, and it provides a full list of all of their vetted appliances that are efficient. You can find Energy Star products at pretty much any home improvement store where you're looking to buy appliances. But just know that you don't have to switch out all of your appliances all at once. If you want to, that's great. But just keep in mind, this is something that you can do as your existing equipment kind of goes down. Another technology on the line are smart thermostats. They're becoming more and more popular. These thermostats are Wi-Fi enabled devices that automatically adjust heating and cooling temperatures for optimal performance and also personal preferences. They allow you to control your home settings even when you're not there. And another benefit that smart thermostats bring is that they can, show you your energy use data so that you can better manage your consumption. Let's see. And then for LED lighting, so we had that question earlier about how much more efficient LEDs are compared to incandescents. And yes, they use up to 75% less energy, and they even last up to 25 times longer. The costs of LED light bulbs have decreased dramatically since they entered the market, and prices are expected to still come down further as products become available. To encourage residents to adopt new energy efficient models and appliances, energy providers like Southern California Edison and SoCalGas offer rebates and incentive programs to offset some of those upfront purchasing costs. So I can share that on the next slide. All right. So your energy utilities, so Southern California Edison and SoCalGas have, like I said, several programs in place to help you save money and energy. There's a lot of information, so I encourage you all to take a look at their websites to understand availability and requirements of these opportunities. But to just give you a brief overview, both of these utilities have several bill assistance programs, such as CARE and FARA. These are income eligible programs to help with monthly bill costs. There's also the Energy Assistance Fund, which offers a one-time bill payment support for qualified households. And there's also a medical qualified program for those with someone in your home that requires energy-intensive medical equipment. So speaking of the rebates and incentives available, to name a few, with Southern California Edison, they have opportunities for electric portable power stations, smart thermostats, EV, electric vehicle purchases, portable power generators. So whenever you're purchasing appliances, check out their websites to see if there's an option that you could get money back. Both utilities have programs like Direct Install and the Energy Savings Assistance Program that installs free energy efficient equipment in your home. And with SCE, they have specific programs that can reduce costs based on the times of day that you use the most energy, such as their summer discount plan and the time of use program. And then on the next slide, I just wanted to share additional actions that you can take to immediately reduce your energy use and save on your bills. And that's by reducing the energy vampires in your home. Energy vampires are appliances in your home that use up energy even when they're not in use, but are still plugged in. They sometimes account for 5 to 10% of a household's total electricity use. So to name a few energy vampires, first we have chargers. So chargers continue to consume power even if your device is fully charged, and you can easily avoid wasting energy by simply unplugging. I like to use power strips at home so that I don't have to go around my house and unplug each of those cords. The next energy vampire I wanted to share were computers. So for those of you like me who work more from home, make sure to be aware of the power you're using for your computers and laptops, and make sure to completely power off when you can. I have a couple of monitors that I always try to remind myself to turn off at the end of the day. There are also more energy efficient office equipment available now, and you can refer back to Energy Star portfolio. And then the next energy vampire is thermostats. Another easy way to save on your bill is controlling your thermostat. As you all know, that space heating and air conditioning account up to 50% of your monthly energy use. So just so you don't have to sacrifice comfort, I get it. I was boiling at home during the recent heat waves, but making the small change of turning your thermostat up to by 7 to 10 degrees from your normal setting can really save you on your energy bills. And then the last thing I wanted to share is about home appliances. Of course, unplug those that are not in use, and ask yourself, does your coffee maker really need to be plugged in 24/7? Refrigerators, on the other hand, I know you can't just unplug those, but you can also lessen the energy use by managing the temperature or cleaning your refrigerator coils. You can also think about upgrading your fridge. If it's more than 10 years old, it might even be costing you double the amount of what a more energy efficient one would cost. So when it comes to time to replace older broken devices, consider your options and go for devices that are more energy efficient. And then lastly, on my next slide, many of us don't frequently connect the direct relation between saving water and saving energy, but it's always there. A lot considering, but to further speak on the importance of water conservation, we discussed but so I'm going to hand it off to Sarah.
Okay, Tracy's going to pop back on here. So we're going to do a live drawing, a live raffle drawing, and a virtual one. So let's start the live one, Sarah. Actually, I brought the buckets here. So Sarah's going to run this part and then pass it to her virtual partner, Sean, for the virtual part.
Okay. So the first winner for the Succulent raffle drawing is, I feel like your chances are pretty good. Dixie. Yay. Okay, so Succulent and bag and water bottle of your choice in the back. We'll show you on the way out. And then I'll turn it over to Sean for the virtual raffle drawing.
All right, awesome. Sorry, I was just struggling to find the little celebration emoji on my computer. Well, on our end, your chances are also pretty good. The winner of the virtual drawing, please forgive me if I say your name wrong, is Megan Liptoninga. So congrats, you have won the Succulent drawing. Could somebody from the city please inform Megan of how she can acquire her Succulent prize?
Yes, I think Megan will pull your name from this chat tonight, or from your sign-in, and have a package for you at our front desk at City Hall, if that's all right. or Elias Sassoon, our Public Works Director, will also be contact for you. We'll see if we can loop back to you via email. Maybe if you pass your email through as well, that'll help us make sure we correctly reach you and tell you where to come to pick up your gifts. So thank you. Okay. Well, thank you for doing that, Sarah and Sean. And now we're going to move into the water portion of our evening. And I'd like to introduce, I believe, Gus, you're coming up. Gus Mesa. He's the Senior Water Policy and Resources Analyst for the West Basin Municipal Water District. The podium is yours.
Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it. Well, good evening, everyone. Nice to see everyone here. I want to thank, first of all, the City of El Segundo. Thank you for inviting us to talk about water conservation, and the drought in our current water situation. So I've got some slides here. My first slides are going to be about West Basin and who we are. West Basin, we're a public water wholesale agency. We provide imported drinking water to about 1 million people in the 17 cities and LA County areas that you can see here on the screen. We service from the Malibu area all the way down to Palos Verdes, in all the cities there that you can see. And we also sell water to the city of El Segundo, who's your water provider if you live in the city of El Segundo. We were formed back in 1947 by a vote of the people to reduce groundwater overpumping and bring imported water to the service area. Back then, there was a lot of farming, and they overpumped the groundwater, so they needed drinking water, so we were formed to bring that water here to the region. We also own and operate the Edward C. Little Water Recycling Facility in the city of El Segundo, which was built back in 1995, and we invite you all to come and visit us there. It's in El Segundo, it's in your city. We treat water there, and we develop recycled water as a way to conserve water, and we've brought back our water harvest event. So for those of you who are here, we have flyers in the back, so please grab a flyer. We invite you to visit us next month to our water harvest event, where you can actually tour the facility and you can actually see how we create recycled water. Next slide. West Basin is governed by an elected 5-member board of directors. We have 2 directors appointed to the 39-member Metropolitan Water District Board. Our director, Harold Williams and Gloria Gray, they're on the MWD board, and our director, Gloria Gray, is currently the chairwoman of the Metropolitan Water District, so we're very proud of that. And our director, Scott Houston, that you can see here, he represents the city of El Segundo. He represents you here in the city on all the water issues. Next slide. Okay, so now I'm going to start talking about the drought and our current water supply situation. So as we all know, we do have a lot of people down here in Southern California. 2/3 of the population is here in Southern California, but unfortunately, 2/3 of the rain is up in Northern California. So we have to import about 60% of our waters, as you can see here on this slide. The Metropolitan Water District, they bring water from Northern California through the California Aqueduct, that red line, and then also through the Colorado River Aqueduct, the blue line there. And then the city of LA, they do get some water there from the Owens Valley Aqueduct. So about 60% of the water is imported for about 19 million people. Next slide. Okay, we all know how bad this drought is, right? We've all seen the news. It's basically on the media, the news every day. We're actually in a 3rd year of a consecutive drought. Nearly 98% of California is in a severe drought, and all 58 counties in California are under the state mandated drought emergency. January through June were the driest first 6 months of the year on record. Next slide. As you can see from these maps, more of the state is now in severe and extreme drought. The map on the left there, that was from the last winter, and the one on the right there from August. So you can see We're in a pretty severe drought, and this was a very hot and dry. It's the previous speaker talked about all the heat, and it was very hot. I know I was running my electricity, my AC, and wasn't too happy about that. But we live in Southern California, and so next slide, please. Okay, so unfortunately, after several years of drought, our imported water supply reservoirs, they've suffered quite a bit. You can see here how low they are. These are the key reservoirs that bring water to Southern California. Lake Oroville, located in north of Sacramento, is down to about 40% of capacity. Lake Powell in northern Arizona is at 25% of capacity, and that feeds Lake Mead. And Lake Mead in Nevada, we've all heard about Lake Mead, is only at 27% of capacity. So the Metropolitan Water District, they rely on these reservoirs to store and bring water to us here in Southern California. Roughly 45% comes from all these, excuse me, no, this is something else here. So roughly, 55% of our water is imported, and these supplies continue to drop. Next slide. So due to the low reservoir storage conditions, California, the governor issued an emergency drought emergency, and so the regulations went into effect on June 10th of this year, and all the water retailers, all the folks like the city of El Segundo and others were required to implement their level 2 water shortage contingency plans and to reduce water use by a minimum of 20%. So many of you know about this already, where you can only irrigate 2 times per week. And so I do want to thank you all. As you can see from the prior slides, what is the situation that we're currently in. So I do want to thank everyone here for conserving water and only irrigating twice a week. And also, as part of the regulation, there's no watering allowed for what's called non-functional turf, and this is grass that's in the commercial, industrial, and institutional sites. This is purely ornamental grass that's not used for anything. It's street medians. So this doesn't apply to like sports fields that are being used. That's okay. But there's a lot of non-functional turf along sidewalks and other areas that is being irrigated. But fortunately here, the city of El Segundo, they use a lot of recycled water. I mentioned we have a facility in El Segundo where we create recycled water. So about 64% of the water demand in El Segundo is recycled water. So I want to congratulate the city. They're doing a great job in using recycled water. And that's treated sewer water. So if you come visit us at our facility in El Segundo, you'll get to see how we create this recycled water. Next slide. So I'm going to show here just a few graphs, not too many, but I want to show you how our water demand here in our service area, in West Basin service area, all the cities that I showed you, has dropped over time from 1990 through now. It's dropped about 70,000 feet. So you can see the orange line coming down. This is the imported water that we were getting from those reservoirs that I showed. With all the conservation happening, with us building the Edward C. Little Water Recycling Facility, with your efforts in conserving water, all of us together, we've been able to drop our demand from about 196,000 acre feet to about 126,000 acre feet, as you can see there. And 1 acre, that's how we measure water, large quantities of water. An acre foot, if you can imagine like a football field, 1 foot high of water, that's 1 acre. 1 acre foot. So we're talking here about, reducing 70,000 football fields. That's a lot of water, if you can picture that. It's the lowest water demand since 1990. Let's see here. Next slide. I won't spend too much time on these graphs. Here's another graph. The purple line is the recycled water that's being used throughout our service area. and the orange lines there is the water demand. And so you can see here in the city of El Segundo, their demand has dropped considerably. What you can see there, the orange lines, and they've been using, as I mentioned, they use a lot of recycled water to offset the imported water. So that's great news. Next slide. And also the gallons per capita per person, the water that you use every day, has also dropped. As you can see here, we were using about 100 gallons per day back in 2014, and now about 70 gallons per day per person. So you're getting your grass twice a week, installing, efficient devices, high efficiency toilets and shower heads, maybe removing part of your grass. All that is helping to reduce the gallons of water that you're using at home. So I want to thank you all for conserving water there. So keep up the good work. Next slide. Okay, you probably saw this in the media. The Metropolitan Water District was working on repairing a pipeline. And so they were asking everyone here in this service area, West Basin, you can see where we're at. So the city of El Segundo is included in the West Basin service area. So we were asking, we worked with the city of El Segundo to get the information out to the residents. They placed information on their website. We contacted the media. We placed newspaper ads. We were really trying to help Metropolitan. With this repair, they really were asking people not to irrigate at all outdoors from September, I think it was September 6th through the 20th. And so that's tomorrow. But I have some good news. They're ahead of schedule, which is great, right? So today, yes, they fixed the pipeline, and so you can go back now to irrigating twice a week. So again, I want to thank all of you who actually did not irrigate at all outdoors during this emergency situation. So thank you. And it's always nice to hear them being ahead of schedule. Next slide. And here's some information you probably saw in the media, in the newspapers about the pipeline. I won't spend too much time here since they fixed it and we can move on. Next slide. Okay, now I'm going to start talking about the water conservations that we offer at West Basin. We provide grass replacement rebates. We have information back at our table, so please feel free to grab information. We've restarted our free rain barrel program. There's also rebates still available for clothes washers, high efficiency toilets, so and there's also free classes and grass replacement chat. So come to our website, westbasin.org. Next slide. And so if you're interested in replacing your grass, maybe you're not ready to replace it all. Maybe you are. Maybe you want to replace part of it. That's fine. There is a $3 per square foot rebate that's available to you to do this. We're currently working with the cities to help them redesign sites to remove grass and install low water use plants like you can see here, drought tolerant plants, native plants that use a lot less water. Grass, believe it or not, uses about 4 feet of water per square foot per year, where these native plants, maybe you only need 1 foot of water per year. So a lot less water, and it looks great too, right? And it brings the hummingbirds, right, and the butterflies, and it really serves a purpose. So I encourage you to take advantage of that rebate. It's a very high rebate right now. Next slide. And here's just a few more details you can see here about the rebate for residents and businesses and municipalities such as the city of El Segundo. They can all qualify for this rebate. Yes, question? You consider that a business in the city of El Segundo? They consider that a business, yes. Good question. And, okay, next slide. And we also just restarted our free rain barrel program. We have 5 events We're providing free rain barrels. We have some folks here in the audience who received rain barrels already, so I want to thank you for that. So come visit our website and you can see where the next event's going to be. We have an event this Saturday, but it's already closed. We reached the capacity in Palos Verdes, but we have 4 more events. There's a lot of interest. People are signing up to get their free rain barrels. So yeah, sign up now to get your free rain barrel. Just come to our website, westbasin.org, /rain barrels. Next slide. Okay, I have a couple of slides left here. And so we started offering these short West Basin chats. They're 10-minute trainings. We have one coming up in a couple days here, September 21st, 6 p.m. It's online. So I encourage you to register. And this is for grass replacement. So they'll talk about how you can register for the grass replacement rebates. A lot of people aren't sure where to start. Where do I apply? How does it work? So this is a great short webinar to attend. And then at the end, you can ask a lot of questions to our professional, our expert grass replacement person who teaches this class. So, and it's free. Next slide. I mentioned our water harvest event. Really excited about bringing this back in person. It's next month, October 22nd in El Segundo. It's educational, a lot of vendors. We provide free tours of the facility so you can see how we create the recycled water. So we're going to have other environmental groups there, different booths. So I want to thank the city. We work closely with the city of El Segundo on this event, and they bring out public works, some vehicles, the fire department, police department. It's a great event. So please come and join us. And that is it for my presentation. Thank you all. Sorry.
All right. Well, thank you, Gus. And I'm excited to see the water harvest back. That was a fun event when we were doing it in person. It's glad to be back. Wonderful. All right. Well, we're going to take a little fun interactive break now. I think we've got another Slido opportunity that Sarah will come up and host for a word cloud. So, Sarah, come on up.
Okay, so the question is, how will you save energy and water or take energy and water actions in your life? So I'll give you a few minutes to complete the, and I think it wants one word, but I think you can also enter a phrase. All right. All right, so we have some responses about unplugging devices, which is great, being more mindful of energy and water conservation actions, installing LEDs, which is a great action, collecting water, reducing watering, and then shorter showers. Someone that's going to take advantage of the grass replacement program. All right, great responses. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sarah, for hosting that. And I'm just going to go through a few things that we here in El Segundo are doing or will be doing and such in the realm of water and energy conservation. So you'll see here a nice lengthy list of things that we've had ongoing. One of the most recent new things we've done is the installation of the California Green Business Program to talk about our businesses that are being green, improving their practices, we're using them as positive examples, giving them free publicity and marketing opportunities to then help their business, but also incentivize other businesses to hop on the green bandwagon and start saving water and energy and other good things in the green-mindedness. We're applying for grants from SCE for EV charging stations. We are evaluating the pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure and also the NEV, the local travel network is the next one there. We just had a meeting about that in our environmental committee that is partnering with the COG on these things. And it's amazing to think that we can really find ways to help promote alternative to gas vehicles. So that's exciting. The implementation of SB 1383 helps us to reduce methane emissions by properly disposing of food waste and yard waste, not just throwing it all in the gray bin at your house. I will say, El Segundo, I don't see a lot of green bins out there. Let's practice doing that. Your environmental committee is here to help you learn how to do that. So let us know, reach out to us through the city, and we will happily give you a little lesson on how to do that. We definitely have reduced some of the technicalities, the difficulties with the online permitting processes. So that's an energy efficient means to cut back on your trips to City Hall if you're on a project. And we're part of the Energy Leadership Partnership, a gold member at this time for achieving energy savings here in the city. So those are all good efforts. On our next slide, we'll look at some things that we're building upon. So what we want to do is expand our use of the purple pipe water here in town. So anywhere we can, we want to plug in those purple pipes and use the recycled water. Some of the parks you see here are going to be getting it in the near future. So a lot of them already use it. A lot of the school sites already use it. So this is great, but we can do more. I wish somehow we could get it to the residences, but that's a whole other level of complication. We'll work on that some year, some century. But for now, everywhere we can do it in the city, we want to do that. We definitely look to our tree plantings and are looking at the list of trees that we offer and that we plant here in municipal spaces, thinking native, thinking drought tolerant more than ever. So that's great. We definitely want to help counteract some of the heat island effect that happens in such a well-built space as ours. We are looking at implementing solar on city buildings here, finding grants to help us do that, and definitely replacing older faucets and things with water-safe, water-thoughtful faucets and things anywhere we can. All those updates are happening, so that's exciting. We also want to increase our residential participation in the energy and water saving programs. So all good things. I see a question from the crowd. Great. So the question from the audience, I'm sorry I didn't run our mic out to you. I would have done that later. Gray water recycling is an important thing to talk about. I think there are some standards that I can't cite to you right now, but we'll connect you with Public Works and West Basin to talk about that when we're done, because that is an important thing. I personally use some of my dishwater to water plants. So, it can be done, and I know laundry facilities are a way to do it. So we'll talk about that more, and definitely if we can push out that information, we will do that. On our next slide, the last bit that I want to share here is just some of the resources and partners we have in town. The El Segundo Climate Action Plan came from a great partnership with the COG, and the city looks to that to make positive changes to reduce our effect on the climate. It's a slow process, but it is a process happening nonetheless. We definitely look to find ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and it covers everything, as you see in the slide here, different categories of how we can counter, the climate change that is we're all feeling right now. So, yeah, all those different categories, urban greening, energy generation, all that are part of that plan. We also have your friendly environmental committee, half of which are in the house tonight, that is out there trying to help the city with ideas on being greener and to help our residents to put in some practices and listen to their ideas and bring them up to a higher level. So we definitely are here to make things as green as we possibly can. And that's all I have to share at this time. I wanted to open it up to see if there's any questions in the room that we didn't already answer. Anyone? No? Oh, we do have, hold on, let me bring you the mic. Go ahead and just let me know and I'll repeat it for the audience. Mm-hmm. To talk about pools? Yeah, the pools are definitely a big use of water. I don't know what to say about that other than I know some folks use covers to try to keep evaporation in, but then I know that helps, that causes chemical imbalances too. So I don't know, Gus, is there anything you want to speak to on pools, recommendations? Wait, hold that thought. I'm gonna bring you a microphone. Let's see if it works.
Yes, pool covers. There's some agencies that provide rebates on pool covers. I know we've been talking with the Metropolitan Water District about that, and that's a great idea. And maybe that's a rebate that should be offered in the future to encourage people to use pool covers because that reduces evaporation and conserves water. So that's a great idea. I'll try to get you more information about that.
Okay, while I'm wandering around, any other questions from the audience? Oh, here's one. Here's the microphone.
Thank you. Not really a question, but I just wanted to tell the residents of town that I did take advantage of the turf replacement program. I started my landscape at the end of May and followed all the guidelines, and West Basin does an excellent be water wise when I got to look at all the different plants that attract the butterflies and the bees and the hummingbirds. And I finally finished my landscape, and I finished it on September 5th, one day before the pipe shut down. So I finished it then, and I realized I have to keep this $1,000 plus landscape alive. So what I did was gray water irrigation. I did laundry to landscape on my home. And I am so happy I did this. I have a gorgeous landscape that is irrigated 100% from when I do laundry. And I'm so excited, and I got so fired up about this whole process. I talked to Gus. He kind of sparked me. I'm now a level 1 installer through Graywater Action. Yeah, and I have a group of people, and we're going to start in town here teaching residents how to do specifically laundry to landscape programs. Yes. So excited. Okay, so like my fingernails are literally still have dirt in them because my backyard landscape just finished today, and we're using PVC pipes, and it's a process, and I have citrus trees that are going to be watered 100% from my laundry to landscape. And so I just found out about this meeting like last week. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about what I'm gonna do. So I will give you my information. Maybe Tracy can help me find a way to get my information out. But I'm putting a team together of landscapers, of plumbers, and myself. I'll be leading everyone because I'm very, very passionate about using recycled purple piped water. I've been to plumbing supply stores. Everybody knows me now, so I'm so excited.
That is amazing, Shannon. Thank you for sharing and inspiring your neighbors and helping your neighbors figure this out. I'm going to just bring in the things that I carry around all the time here for people to see. So this bucket has been with me for many years. This goes in the shower, and when the water's too cold for me to step in, this is catching that water. I take it outside to water plants, or I take the back off the toilet when I flush and fill the back of the toilet with this water. So great way to not waste water when you're trying to not freeze and take a shower. So just wanted to share that tip. It's one of my favorites. At this time, I think, Sean, do you have any virtual questions that you want to express to us?
I don't believe I see any in the chat right now, unless anybody wants to type anything right now.
We'll see. Standing by. All right. Oh wait, I've got another question in the room. In the meantime, hang on. I'm taking the mic out. Hold on.
Since we had someone in the audience that did the gray water, has anyone done the EV charging stations? Because we're interested in that as well.
I personally put one in home just because we have a Tesla, but that's a whole other discussion. And Elias here will tell you more about the city.
Thank you. My name is Elias Sassoon, Public Works Director for El Segundo. As I'm talking to you, we are trying to locate some grants for new EV stations. One of the things about El Segundo, we are pretty affluent community. So these grants are hard to come by because of our economic situation. So nevertheless, we are not giving up. Also, at the meantime, any development going forward, we have been working with our other departments, Community Services Department in particular, to encourage developers to install EV stations as new developments take place. So we have one which is coming up, PCC, Pacific Coast Common, which is going to offer a number of EV stations, and we're going to continue to do that. The other thing we want to do is we want to look at adding solar panels to the city facility buildings on their roof and be able to utilize some of that energy for EV stations. It probably not going to be enough, but there's a way to do that, augmenting from our electric system, and I have some experience doing that in other cities I work for. So we are being very proactive along those lines. You cannot depend on solar all the way, although the solar could be used as augmenting. So they will not allow if your only source of energy for the EV station is from solar, because it sometimes does not produce enough. But they do allow the solar to be part of that.
All right. I know you have to wrap up because we've reached our 6:30 time limit here. So quickly, I think what we do want to do before we all say goodnight, virtually at least, I think we have one final drawing that we want to do. So Sarah, if you want to come up and we'll do the in-person one, and Sean, get ready to do the virtual one in a sec. Sarah's got my water bucket that I use when I'm washing dishes and the water's too cold to get the grease off. We fill this, and now we use it for a raffle.
All right, Shannon? Okay.
Okay, great. We'll see Shannon out back there. And Sean, online, do you want to give us a name for the virtual winner?
Yes, our virtual winner, let me just check everything real quick, is Kim Fuentes.
Okay, great. Congratulations to Kim. We'll talk about hooking you up with your prize. And with that, we've reached our time for the night. I want to thank all of our speakers who came and shared your expertise. I hope everybody learned something about water and energy conservation. I want to thank the City of El Segundo for hosting this and the COG for putting this together with us. We are so appreciative of that partnership. And, go green out there. We'll see you around town. Thanks and good night.